It's always exciting to leave Houston, Texas, and find out what's going on around the country. We are going to a very interesting part of the world, Central Maryland, Washington, D.C. We have the one and only Anthony Corrao. He is with Long & Foster Real Estate. In addition, they're part of the Forbes Global Properties. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Great to be here this morning. Thanks for having me.
And I would think right now, your area of the world, that East Coast, you're near Annapolis, Maryland, the Atlantic Ocean. So many things are proximate to where you are practicing real estate in a tremendous way. But many people don't realize you're also having probably super weather right about now. And it's awesome. Let's tell people about the area and about your company.
Sure. So let's start, I guess, with the company. We are Long & Foster. We're the largest real estate company in the Baltimore Metro, D.C. Metro, Northern Virginia marketplace. Their blueprint actually spans from New Jersey all the way down to South Carolina. They're the dominant real estate company, and including, of course, the District of Columbia. They were acquired back in January of 2018 by Warren Buffett. So we are part of the Home Services Corporation of America, is Warren's umbrella real estate company. He bought Long & Foster because of their 52-year dominance in real estate in this locality. You know, he likes to buy best-in-breed companies, dominant market share, great executive leadership. So we recently, Bill, came across an exciting, exclusive strategic alliance that we formed with Forbes Global Properties. We were approached by Forbes to become, because of our luxury status, we sell and list more luxury property than any other brokerage in this area. And we are part now of the exclusive relationship with Forbes Global Properties, which basically puts us in contact with the membership of Forbes worldwide. Goes up to almost 77 countries. We would be able to tie into a local 1% top realtor in these 77 countries, all 50 states domestically, to ensure that our clients on referral are getting access to the top and best agents in their localities. So that's a little bit about the company. You're right. I couldn't agree with you more about how unique the area is here. You know, when people don't understand geography too well, especially if they've never been, but you could get on a train here, you know, in Maryland, in Montgomery County, and, you know, you're in New York City on the Acela in an hour and 50 minutes. You're in D.C. in 30 minutes. You're in Annapolis in 30 minutes. It's just a wonderful place. We are really blessed to have the Chesapeake Bay, and we're the home of the best Maryland blue claw crabs in the world.
There you go.
There it is. I know you're familiar with it. People come from all over the world every year just to eat these crabs. And just a little tidbit, they're responsible for about 75% of the gross domestic product in Maryland. Is that amazing?
That really is amazing. And just a word, we will talk about the crab, the Maryland Chesapeake Bay crab right now for a minute or so, because when I lived in Kensington, Maryland, and I would love those crab cakes, and I'm going back many decades, but things were stuffed with crab, the flounder stuffed with crab meat, the crab imperial, the shrimp with crab meat, and, of course, crab cakes. And to this day, I always loved the crab cakes back then in Maryland. However, as I've sought restaurants here in Houston, and even as I used to travel all around the United States and even in other parts of the world, I have never had a crab cake or crab meat like you have right there. And I still search, but I guess I have to just come back to Maryland.
Yeah. But I'm a world traveler, Bill, myself. I've actually lived in 8 different states, 3 different countries. And guess what? They don't make them any better here than Maryland. When I wasn't a resident of Maryland, I used to come in and always say, God, they have the magic sauce over here. But it's really true. It's just you know, it's their pride and joy, but they're known, of course, renowned worldwide for this crab. So it's wonderful.
Well, early on, Anthony, you mentioned the areas and bringing it into perspective for especially Texans and Houstonians right here where we are and people hearing at the time of broadcast. But you've mentioned major market areas like Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. Washington, D.C. is a whole separate thing, and then you even added Northern Virginia. So those places are relatively close, and as a real estate professional leading a team, you're leading several offices, but I would think there's different ways or different rules in doing business in each of those two of the states and, of course, the unique District of Columbia. Give us a word about that, how you're able to be nimble, you and your team, serving people in these, I guess, with different rules and maybe even different contracts.
Yep. So as you know, Bill, the national real estate governed by the feds really oversees fair housing and lead-based paint rules. The rest of real estate law and annotated code of contracting is written at the state level. And then, of course, it's complemented by local jurisdictionary law. So every specific unique state here that we interface with, primarily Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, there are these local jurisdictional laws that apply in each of the respective areas. For example, you can have an agent represent both parties in Virginia. Dual agency is allowed in Virginia for one agent representing both clients. That is not the case. That is not allowed in D.C. or Maryland. So that's significantly different. But it's really the local jurisdiction laws that are significantly different. For example, Washington, D.C. has some of the strictest you could imagine rental laws in the country about eviction, about protected classes, et cetera. Harrod County, for example, has the highest number of protected classes in Maryland. They have the highest number of protected classes in the nation with regards to fair housing. So that's different because you have to understand that what is potentially not a protected class in D.C. is a protected class in Harrod County. It may not be a protected class in New York, New Jersey, et cetera. So got to understand and that's why the local expertise, Bill, you just nailed it. The local expertise is obviously crucial, especially on relocation. You know, this is a hub of relocation from people all over the world. It's a true melting pot. We're also the cybersecurity capital, Bill, as you know, of the world. So we have the National Security Administration here. We have they interface with the FBI, the CIA, the Pentagon. We have Fort Meade Base, which is a intellectual capital intelligence agency that works with the cyber initiatives very closely with NSA. So we have a influx of high-tech, high cyber engineers coming in the defense industry from literally all over the world, getting the best talent in to keep our country safe. And in a time of crisis, of course, going around the world right now, that's helped add a lot of stability to the marketplace because where many jobs were cut during COVID, of course, there were so many challenges. That defense cybersecurity area was what? It was adding jobs, right, incrementally. So it kept a balance. And a lot of them are high-paying jobs, Bill. So, you know, they're above the normal median in pay scale. So it created an element of a protected, very well-defined and protected work stability area.
And I wanted to do something I've never done before on this show, and this is show number 428 or 429. However, wow. I want to encourage people, now certainly if you're driving, wait till you get home, but I want to encourage you, go to the map, as I have it on my computer, and see Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and then look at the coast. You have Annapolis, Maryland. Look at these towns, and as you describe, the agencies that are designed for protection that are right there in the D.C. area. There are so many other things, and it's just a very rich area in history and so many things. Let's tell people, Anthony, about your role, because you're more than just a real estate professional. You're leading a team of several offices. Let's describe that and give people a perspective of what you're doing day in and day out.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So we're a boutique shop in luxury. My background came from the medical world. I was the senior director of sales for Amgen, the largest biotechnology company in the world, Applied Molecular Genetics. I was then the CEO and president of one of the largest physician organizations in the world, International Physicians Network. So leveraging my past clients and my employees, we discovered a very high niche servicing the medical community, and of course dominant here with the University of Maryland and the Johns Hopkins integrated healthcare institutions. So we started out in Howard County with my group, and the Howard County office was, we got in there about almost 20 years ago. We then branched our tentacles out in the Lutherville, Timonium, Baltimore County office. And then most recently, just about 3 years ago, we expanded into the North Potomac, Rockville area in Montgomery County. So that Baltimore office in Lutherville, really we servicing the Baltimore City County, Baltimore County, Harford and Cecil County areas. In the Howard County, Columbia office, we're servicing clients in Howard County, Carroll County, Anne Arundel County, across the Bay Bridge over into Queen Anne's County and Talbot counties. And then in the North Potomac marketplace, we're servicing the Northern Virginia, basically Loudoun and Fairfax County areas, Washington, D.C., of course, Montgomery County, Prince George's County, and Calvert County. So we really have a very broad coverage area. Again, we do have a niche in luxury just because of our clientele. We're servicing basically the entire Baltimore Metro, D.C. Metro, and Northern Virginia markets with the group.
We're talking with Anthony Corrao with Long and Foster Realty in the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. Anthony, as we have a few minutes left, let's tell people, as far as the marketplace right now, each one there is so unique and so different, I'm imagining, but how is the market right now? We're hearing about, certainly here in Texas, Houston, offers above list price, all that sort of thing. Interest rates are getting higher. What's it like right now in the marketplace? Is there one market in your area, let's say, that's more popular than others, or what's it like?
Yeah, the D.C. Metro, Central Maryland market, and Northern Virginia market remains extremely strong, Bill. We're really no different than the national headlines regarding the shortage of inventory. I mean, I've been practicing real estate for 20 years, but I've been buying real estate for 38 years. I've never seen anything this extreme and dire with regards to the amount of units available for sale to the public.
Wow.
Right now in Maryland, through April, year over year, Bill, we're down 13.9% in units at only 7,933 in total units. I mean, those are just really profound numbers. Average prices, of course, due to the commoditization of real estate, and of course, you know, it's a commodity, supply and demand. With those reduction in inventory available, the sellers are in control. We had a year-over-year prices for full year last year, 2021, in the state of Maryland. We had almost a 14.6% increase in year-over-year pricing. We were up 8.1% just April versus April of last year. Median prices up 8.3%. And these are record-breaking prices, I would mind you. These are breaking records. All-time high prices. Pending units are down just because inventory is down. Active inventory with new listings coming on remains challenged. I think the predicament that the market is in right now, Bill, probably the same nationwide, I'm assuming same in Houston, is that as we see these interest rates come up so quickly, right? Who would have thought we would have gone from 3 1/8 interest rates in December to nearly 6% here, right, in May? It's just been a rapid escalation. But now we're in a situation where the affordability index is really challenged. And also you have people that are not willing to move out of their current interest rates that they have on their existing properties, some in the high two. Some in the high 2s and 3s. Now they're thinking about moving on, and they're going to be financing at levels close to 6. That's causing a lot of people not to move, even worsening an already challenged inventory situation. We have literally 6 days, Bill, is the median days on market. 6 days. Just crazy.
So many factors are at play. It's like we've never seen before, as you said.
Yeah. The only thing that we are trying to emphasize to our buyers, it's obviously an easy discussion to put your house on the market. You're going to sell it quickly for top dollar. You're going to get, I wanted to answer your question. You're saying you're still seeing a lot of being sold above the list price. 54% of all homes in April, Bill, were selling at list price or better. In the luxury market, it is not uncommon for us to see $150,000 to $300,000 above list price.
Wow.
on property listed between $1.5 and $3.5 million. It's commonplace. The number of offers, Bill, I'm sure it's the same in Houston. As we've gotten such an acclimatous rise in interest rates over the last 5 months, right, from the 3 to the close to 6. We're seeing the number of offers obviously come down as affordability comes down. We're pricing people, some people getting priced out, right? Especially the first-time home buyers. That's really difficult for them. The luxury market hasn't been hit as hard just because they could sustain and withstand, a rise in interest rate. They just have more affluence, of course, and liquidity. But the number of offers is coming down, but we're not seeing the amount of escalation come down. It's just a lower number of offers, still an incredible elevation on pricing though. So what we're advising our buyers is this situation doesn't look like, Bill, it's going away. We just saw the Fed at the last meeting put out a Fed funds rate target of 3.65%. We're at 0.75 to 1% Fed funds rate right now. So, so we're trying to tell people you might want to condense your timeline for moving. If you thought you were going to move in 2-3 years, you might want to think about that now, or you might be paying 7%, Bill, in an interest rate. Think about it. And if houses continue to escalate, which we don't think that there's anything imminent in the near future of why they would go down when the shortage is continuing, if you accelerate your purchasing, if you're a buyer considering it, getting to a better school district, getting a bigger home or downsizing even, you're gonna be paying less for the house now than we think you'll be paying in a few years. And also that rate in your discretionary income, of course, will be greater as your monthly payment will be more manageable at a lower interest rate. So that's what we're trying to advise our buyers. Don't think it's all gloom and doom, and don't think you're going to be in a holding pattern, because if you have to move, you want to take advantage. I think you got to move, right? And if you're thinking about it, you might want to condense your cycle. So that's basically what our logic's been in advising our buyer clients.
And Anthony, we have less than a minute. However, I want to tell people, while I have the map out, looking at it, summer's upon us. This is a super area, Baltimore, Washington. It's a super area to go for a trip, a vacation, but also it's a great area for that second home. And with, again, less than a minute, what else do you want people to know? And let's tell them how they can reach you, Anthony Corrao.
Yes, sir. We don't forget our other crown jewel. We have Annapolis, the sailing capital of the world.
I'm looking at it right now.
Annapolis. Right. We have the Navy, of course, the Naval Academy, training our top naval grads and officers worldwide for us around the world. Right here, another crown jewel in Annapolis. You get out in the Chesapeake Bay, taking a sailboat out on the Severn of the Magathy. Absolutely breathtaking. And because of the one last thing I'll add is Howard County, Maryland, is the number one rated, has been for almost 10 years, public school system in the United States.
Wow.
And so we have people coming into the area. They want to live in this Baltimore metro, DC metro area. They're taking advantage of the schools as well. So what does that correspond to? Incredibly high rental rates. Vacancy rates are extremely low. In some cases, they're non-existent. So a wonderful place for an investment property, a magnificent place for a second home to take advantage of all that Maryland has to offer. And the downtown Baltimore and downtown DC area, we'll take DC first. DC with all of the galleries, the art museum, obviously all of the federal attractions, right? With the Washington Monument, the Capitol, Jefferson Lincoln Memorial. I could name 100, right? And then Baltimore gets a little bad rap, as you see on the national globe, with some crime reporting. But I will tell you that in Baltimore City, it is home to some of the top-rated chefs in the world. And that downtown Inner Harbor area is just a magnificent place to be. And, of course, there's the theater and a great aquatic type of environment down there as well on the water. So it has a lot to offer, Bill.
And how can we reach you, Anthony?
Yes, my best contact would be cell at 410-336-0877, 410-336-0877, or email at my first initial, last name Corrao, Corrao, at LNF, LucyNancyFrank.com, Corrao at LNF.com.
You can call Anthony at 410-336-0877. I'm on my way to get some crab cakes. Anthony, thanks for being on the show.
Bill, I welcome you with open arms. Anytime you're in town, I'm going to take you out. Let's make it happen. I hope to see you in my neck of the woods soon. And thanks again for hosting us today. Appreciate the invite.